Oh, it looks like I am live. Okay, I'm just gonna check the feed to make sure that I am live. Let's see here for a second. Alrighty, righty, righty. And if you're there, it would be super helpful. Second. Okay, there I am. Righty, righty, righty. All right, I can see myself, I can hear myself. All right, so if you're there, do me a favor and say hi. Now I lost the comment area. There we go. Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you here. Wonderful to see you here. If you're here, do me a favor and just give me a hey, give me a shout out. Say hello. Tell me how you're doing today, where you're from. Is it cold there? I'm in Scottsdale, and today it's chilly. It's 57. I know that isn't really cold, but for us Phoenicians, it's super cold. It's 57 degrees. So my hands are cold and my nose is cold, and I've been doing this all day. And there's Rachel, and there's somebody named Facebook user. Okay, so I don't understand why some of you pop up as your names and then other pop up as Facebook user. But I've got a hi Liz, and hi Liz, whoever's saying hi to me. Cold and sunny in Eugene, Oregon. So who is that who's in Eugene, Oregon? And it's probably wonderful there. Hi, I'm in California and it's kind of cold too. Kim, blizzard in New England. Yes, my family is in Boston, and it's so funny. We're all supposed to chat tomorrow, and one of my brother-in-law said, yes, we can chat tomorrow because we're going to be snowed in. So you're getting hit. Margaret. Oh, I know. It's really funny. I have to figure that out, why some people I see, some people I do. 3 feet in Boston area. Wow. I think they got hit already, right? So I have a few questions for you. Alan is here. Alan, I haven't seen you in a long time, my friend. So good to see you. I'm not quite sure where you are right now. You seem to be traveling a lot from everywhere. Mexico, everywhere. Okay, so how many of you were able, and by the way, I am live on several different platforms right now. So I can see all of your comments coming through, but you can't see all the comments because you're probably maybe you're on the CYL Soulfest page or the fan page or my personal page or the YouTube channel. So I've got 7 different channels where I'm broadcasting right now. And you may or may not be in one of them that you're seeing comments or not. Oh, you're in Green Bay. Janice is in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and it's only 16 degrees. Here with -4 degrees. Oh my goddess. I don't know when the last time I felt such bitter cold like that. Probably when I was a teenager, when I grew up in New York. Southern New Jersey, not much yet. Okay. So I have a question for you. So some of you were able to see our survey. How many of you saw the survey that we posted and you filled that out? Any of you? Go ahead and post that. Post a yes if you were able to fill out the survey. Anyway, we had hundreds and hundreds, like closer to thousands of responses on the survey that we sent out. And one of the reasons why we did that was because we wanted to know exactly what was going through our audience's minds. Okay, you saw a Little Rock today. Okay. So you saw and you answered. Yes, you answered. Yes, you answered, Kim. Thank you all so much. And if you didn't see it, that's totally okay. We received so much data and so much information from it. It's going to last a lifetime. But what was so interesting to me is we asked the question, what are you frustrated? What's most frustrating in your life right now? And we gave about, 7 multiple choice answers. And then we gave a box where people could fill it in. And the number one, there were actually 2 that were kind of neck and neck. The number 1 response for people's frustrations right now came in at keeping a positive mindset, not spiraling down into negative thinking. Kim, you probably remember that from the survey. and how to kind of transmute or shift or heal trauma in your life. So that was the number one response. The number two response, which I found super interesting, was that how did we worded it? I'm paraphrasing the survey right now, but we worded it in a way of longing for friendships with like-minded people, longing for those connections. And I found it interesting because one of my goals at Celebrate Your Life when we're doing our live events is really connecting people from all over the world so people can begin to have allies in their life that are like-minded. So I know people who have made lifelong friends or soul partners and friendships and soul sisters, soul brothers. And it's really beautiful to watch because that's really one of my intentions when I create the live events. And so when I saw this, that the number one and two were like neck and neck, I thought, wow, of course this is happening right now because we've all kind of splatted into this weird space in the world. And yes, I'm going to call it what it is. And I know a lot of people want to sugarcoat it and say, oh, no, it's a blessing. And yes, it might be all of that. But you know something? It's also been a shitstorm for a lot of us emotionally and mentally, myself included. So when I saw that people were struggling with friendships, I thought, wow, that means that and I love taking on a challenge. That means that we have to somehow come up with a way to create these connections, not just on a Zoom event, not just on like a Zoom event where you see people and you wave and you see other people, but you don't really get a chance to connect. So I've been thinking long and hard about this. I don't have the answer yet, but we've been thinking long and hard about this, Tanya and I and our team, of how we can bring together community in a way that you are seen and you are heard and you are supported. Now, I'm not talking about group therapy or anything like that, but I'm talking about a way that you have allies in your life that support you on your journey. Because when you're at home, right, and you're doing your thing, it is so easy to just, and I love this word because Dr. Sue Morty uses this, you just splat. It's so easy just to do that. I do it myself. And I want to give you a little sneak peek here. You know that I have been working with probably hundreds of spiritual teachers for the last 27 years. And although some of them might never say this themselves, but they do splat. They absolutely splat. I've worked with them. I know them. I'm very close with some of them. So I don't want you to feel that the teachers or myself or anybody in your world is like on this pedestal. You're just not seeing what goes on behind the scenes. You're just not seeing the moments where, I might be sitting in my meditation room like this. Okay, meditate now, meditate now, meditate now. And there are moments that I do that. Or I cannot get a thought out of my head, and it's gnawing away at me, and helping and creating negative feelings where I spiral down into this like pit of despair. So that does happen, and I'm sure how many of you have had that happen, especially over the past couple of years. Oh, Alan, I love what you wrote. I'll definitely, with the conversation, agreed about friends all over the world. Thank you to CYL and Joe Dispenza, but a local tribe and partner remains elusive. I get it. I totally get it. Brief breakout rooms with only 2 to 3 people on Zoom has helped me. Yes, and that's something else we're looking at. Zoom just released something very cool, and I'm getting trained on it. So that's where my thinking is going. So how many of you have had that feeling of you get a thought or you get a feeling and it becomes super hard for you to shift it? And I'm not saying that you have to be rosy and cheeky and fabulous all the time. I'm not saying that. I'm just asking how many of you, oh, good, you're emerging from that pattern. Fantastic. All right, Rachel, you have for sure. How many of you have done that? Just give me a thumbs up or put a yes in the comments. because I know that it's been quite a journey. I'm predominantly Celebrate Your Life Events is predominantly a live event production company. That's the way we were born. That's the way we've been doing this. That's what makes me filled with joy and passion for my work. So it's been a lot of, on the floor moments of sitting on the mat, trying to figure this out. But most importantly, continuously working on staying mentally and emotionally balanced. That's a constant, it seems to be for right now, a constant job for many people that I've talked to, and most of the people that answered that survey. So what I'd like to do is to give you a few tips. Now, I've worked with like dozens and dozens and dozens and hundreds of spiritual teachers and motivational speakers throughout these 27 years. So here's the fun part, is that I've had the benefit of being in the room with them. I've had the benefit of learning from them. I've had the benefit of sitting down and, having lunch, dinner, whatever it is, and hanging out with them and really picking their brain about, okay, what works here? What works doesn't here? What have you done here that's worked? So I kind of pull from all the different teachers that I've learned from. It's not just one, technique that I use. It's several. And Shani wrote, "It's been tough, a fact. We are forced to be more awake, be positive, be love." Yes, it's been a roller coaster. So here's the first thing that I do is I don't even realize sometimes when I've had a negative thought, and I'm going to use the word negative, and sometimes we just have thoughts that don't serve us. That's the better way to put it. So I have a thought that doesn't serve me, and I don't even realize I have a thought that doesn't serve me until I'm feeling lousy. And have you noticed that your thoughts create your feelings? How many of you have noticed? Go ahead and put a thumbs up in the comments. How many of you have really noticed and honed into your own self that you really have paid attention to, that your thoughts have created feelings inside of you? Any of you? I know I have. So if our thoughts create our feelings, right? If your thoughts create your feelings, and you really knew that, and you believed that and knew that with every single cell in your body and your higher self, Melinda says, absolutely. With every pore of your being, you knew that your thoughts created your feelings. Would you ever allow a thought to come in that didn't serve you? And would you be more cognizant? And would you be more awake to the thoughts that you do have? How many of you? Shani says, yep. Janice, definitely. Yep. Can be a roller coaster. Absolutely. So think about that for a second. You know that your thoughts create your feelings. So right now, think of someone or a situation that's really like, it just has pissed you off, and it's in the past. It's like maybe 10 years ago, right? And you can have that thought. You can think about that situation, and what happens? What happens? You do know that is what's keeping me going. Still these old thoughts that still creep in. Absolutely. So think about that person. Now notice what happens in your body. You're getting a little bit tight in your chest, maybe in your solar plexus. You're starting to feel a little bit angry. Your teeth are clenching like this, right? So when you have that thought and that feeling comes in, that gives you the proof. That gives you 100% proof that you really get it viscerally, that your thoughts create your feelings. So I'm not going to leave you hanging in that lousy thought. Don't worry about it. So if you really knew this, could you then make a practice? Could you somehow make a practice that every time you had a negative thought that doesn't serve you, a thought that does not serve you. I'm not even going to use the word negative because let's not judge it as negative or positive. Let's just talk about the thought that doesn't serve you. And that's very, very individualized. So think about that thought that doesn't serve you, right? Tearful, exactly, Shani. Brooke is saying, and in my experience, we often allow those thoughts in because we're using them to manipulate something else. We're trying to get something else out of it. Exactly. So notice when you've got that, notice the changes in your body. Now I want you to think about a moment. It could have been yesterday, could have been 2 days ago, where you have felt like your true self, where you have been clear and centered. You've known exactly who you are. You've dropped into that place of compassion and kindness, and you're dealing with the situation with beauty and grace and ease, and you feel the flow, right? You sense that? Go to that situation. Think about that moment where you were completely you, where you were solid in who you are as a man, as a woman, as they. And notice, how are you feeling when you have that thought of being completely on point? How are you feeling? You're feeling a little bit more uplifted. You're feeling more and more centered into your true self, into your essence, into the Shekinah, the star, the center of who you are, your soul, your spirit, whatever works for you, connected to the universe, connected to God, connected to your guides. Having these thoughts can just be a dramatic turnaround for your life. So here's a technique that I do. And I typically do this in the mornings. I write down, and this is a long exercise. You might want to write this down, you might not, whatever serves you. I actually, when I'm really having a challenge, I write down all the thoughts, all the feelings, and all the actions that do not serve me. So the thoughts that don't serve me, the feelings I have based on those thoughts that don't serve me, and the actions that I take based on those feelings and those thoughts that don't serve me. Okay, do you get that? So the thoughts, the feelings, and the actions that do not serve you. Then I write down thoughts that do serve me, feelings based on those thoughts that do serve me, actions based on those feelings and those thoughts that do serve me. You understand? Are you getting this? And then at the end of that practice, and this will take me about 15 minutes to do that. At the end of the practice, I visualize myself in a really tough situation, whatever it might be, just tough for me. And this is what you will choose your situation for you. And I visualize myself coming through that situation like a champion, like the warrior, like a star. Like you just visualize yourself like the courageous spiritual warrior that you are coming through that situation, and you feel it. That's the important piece, is that you feel it. You have to feel it, see it, imagine it. You got that? And then when you go throughout your day, when you're going throughout your day and a negative thought creeps in, you already have that positive thought that you wrote down in the morning to immediately turn it around. Immediately turn that thought around on a dime. You do not give any energy to that thought. You immediately turn it around. And that's what, you've heard Dr. Joe, you've heard Bruce Lipton, you've heard Greg Braden, you've heard Sunny, you've heard Dr. Sue Morter, Wayne Dyer, you've heard them all talk about this. Every single one of them. And every single one of them, I think, they all have a very, very, very similar process, but the outcome is you taking those negative thoughts, thoughts that don't serve you, and turn them into positive ones. And you do that over and 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 over again, right? You're shifting your brain chemistry. Your brain chemistry goes, whoa, okay, we've got a new person here. We've got a new reality here. You're creating a new personality, right? And Alan, I know you know this. I know you know this. So you're creating a new personality, a new personal reality. And your body is responding. Your body is physiologically responding to the shifts that you made in your thinking. This has been proven. Joe has proven this. Bruce has proven this. Greg has proven this. Sunny has. All the teachers out there. Wayne did. Even, can I tell you something? I remember my mom. My mom's been gone now since 2009. I think some of you may or may not have met her. And this is what she used to talk about. And of course, I roll my eyes. I go, oh, Mom, you make it sound so easy. And she was like, Elizabeth, it is. Every morning you look yourself in the mirror and you tell yourself how much you love yourself over and over again, gazing into your eyes, appreciating yourself, loving yourself, honoring yourself. And she kept telling me it begins with before any of this was popular. She would tell me over and over again, it starts with your thoughts. It starts with your thoughts. And it doesn't mean that if you have a thought that doesn't serve you, that the earth is going to, your world is going to collapse. That's not it at all. It just means that, okay, let's tweak this a little bit. And it doesn't mean that you walk around like, oh, Miss Pollyanna. No, you're walking around in a state of your true self, of honoring who you truly are, because your true self, would you agree with this statement that your true self is compassionate and kind and clear and confident and knows who you are? Would you agree with that statement? And so when you are in that place of splatteredness and not in a place of wholeness and grace and connected to who you are, right? That's when those thoughts that don't serve you creep in. And that's when we emotionally spiral down. Okay. Any questions so far? Anybody want to make a comment? Anybody want to say anything? I'm watching, I'm listening, I'm here. So another thing that I do is in the moment, if I need to boom, pull myself out of it very quickly, is I do something, I think it's called, I don't know, I never knew that there was a name for it, but a friend of mine who was an NLP practitioner once said to me, oh, Liz, you're doing uptiming. I wasn't aware of that. So if any of you are NLP people, you might know this. What I'll do if I feel like I'm slipping into an anxious space, take a deep breath, and I will notice 5 things around me. I will pay attention and I will visually notice. I will look around and say, oh, that's really bright white. And oh, there's that wood grain on that door. Oh, there's the yarn over here. Oh, here's a lotion bottle. I will visually become acutely aware of 5 things. Visually, acutely aware, really hone in on it. Then I will do that with my sound, with my senses of my ears. I will listen. What sounds do I hear? 4 sounds that I hear. What do I hear? Do I hear cars outside? Do I hear my breath? Is my stomach rumbling? Do I hear any type of outside internal noises? What sound do I hear? So you understand. So I'm going to finish this. And oh, this is weird. What is that strange pop up there? So we're just going to block that user. That was weird. Crickets. Crickets. Exactly. I'm listening, but shoveling snow at the same time. Okay, Kim, that's so cool. One thought leads to another before you know it. Boom. Exactly. So you're aware, right. Cynthia, you're seeing that you need to clean your office. Then after you have eyes, ears, now we're going to do touch. So 3 things you can, whoa, that's cold. See, 3 things you can touch that you can feel. What does it feel like? I'm picking up this lotion bottle. What does it feel like? Oh, that's warmer. Picking up one other item. Here we go. The keyboard mouse. Picking up 3 things that you can feel. Be very, very acutely aware of your sense of touch. And then taste. What do you taste in your mouth? Is there a taste in your mouth? Did you have coffee in the morning that you can still taste? Do you have, oh, Barney, 5 + 2, but, oh, okay. That's what it's called. All right. I didn't know what it was called, but somebody said it was an NLP thing, but I just did it. And then you taste. So now what we've done is that we've become acutely aware with all of our senses what's happening. And I'll do that and I'll feel something. I'll put I usually will take my shoes off. I'll take my feet off. No, I'll take my shoes off and I'll put my feet on the earth. I'll go outside. Wherever I am, I put my feet on the earth. And of course, breathing. And that will, boom, bring me back. That helps tremendously if you're slipping into a panic place or feel like you need to get grounded. Just becoming acutely aware of your surroundings, bringing yourself back into body, bringing yourself back into presence, into connectedness. Melinda says, I have found that if a negative thought comes to mind, one that has already been unpacked and addressed, I dismiss it, almost like spitting out something you've taken a bite of that tastes really bad. Dismissed, spit it out, done. Love that. Oh, I love that. I'm going to use that. I'm going to add that. You see how we support one another and adding to the processes that we use, the processes that we've learned, that we've been practicing, or maybe forget to practice. So there are 2 techniques that I use to really get myself out of that emotional, mental funk, or when I feel myself going downhill. The other thing I'll do is, of course, hand on heart, one of my favorites. Hand on heart. Breathing, closing my eyes, and telling myself, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. All is good. I'm okay. It works wonders. All right. Any questions, anybody? Anybody want to share an experience that you've had where you have been like, whoa, like out there splatted emotionally in a funk or mentally in a funk? And what technique have you used to support you? What has really worked for you? Let's add to the toolbox here. It's wonderful to share these things with one another because I find that I can never have too many things that I can pull from. Janet in the UK says she likes to say, this too shall pass. Love that. Love that. Love that. It's temporary, right? It's temporary. This too shall pass. Oh my goodness. I love that one. That is excellent. This to remind yourself that it's temporary. Alan says, my friend Dana Pierce has a single word, cancel. When she catches herself, she out loud says cancel and moves past it. Excellent. Excellent. Shani says, dissolving guilty feelings, pushed it away. Yes. Yes, exactly. Mind dump before you go to bed, write nonstop. Get rid of all that is bugging you. Oh my gosh, that is a great idea. I should try doing that because that's when it happens to me, Cynthia. Why is that? You're in bed, you're trying to fall asleep, and everything floods in. That's an excellent idea. The other thing, the technique I use is I breathe and I listen to my breath, hand on heart, and I just listen to my breath, listen to my breath, listen to my breath. But I love that, a mind dump. Perfect. Lynn says, I go to a local lake, breathe, listen to the water, and focus on the peace of the scene. Oh, that's beautiful. That's really, I need to find water here because I love water and we don't have a lot of lakes and things close by here in Arizona, but that's beautiful. Diane's, oh, and she will slam here like hitting a bucket. Okay. Oh, she'll slam her hand down like hitting a bucket. Cancel. Oh, that's perfect. Diane says, when you are emotional, can you time yourself 15 to 20 minutes? Oh, that's a really good one. And I've used that one. I forgot about that one. I have used that where I allow myself 15 minutes. I remember I did this when I was getting over a relationship. That's excellent. I was getting over a really toxic relationship and my mind would not shut up. I was like 31, 32 years old and my mind wouldn't shut up. And so what I did was I allowed myself 15 minutes a day to obsess. And that was it. That's all I was allowed. Oh, Diane, great reminder. Vivian, I pretend I'm Barbara Eden. Oh, I dream of Jeannie and snap my fingers to change my mindset. Oh, get a bird bath, Vivian. That's a good idea. Oh, that's beautiful. Snap your fingers like I dream of Jeannie, or like this. You blink your eyes, right? Gratitude list in the next morning helps also. Beautiful. See, I love all of this. And all of you've got this. You've got all these great techniques and you just add to your toolbox. Just add to your toolbox whatever techniques resonate for you. You can try on different things, see what works, see what doesn't work. Try the couple that I have mentioned. Lynn says, go to Saguaro Lake, Liz, and drive along the river and find the wild horses. Lynn, I need to find out how to get there. I've been wanting to find out the street and the road that, I don't know if that's Feline Highway. If there's any way, Lynn, that you could send me that information, I would appreciate it. Or I can Google it. I can find out. Brooke, I use a presence tool of washing my hands. As I do, I bring in all five senses. How does the water sound, smell, soap, feel, warmth of coolness of water, look around and see the beauty? That's beautiful. Oh my goodness. See, you guys are all like, you're all the healers and the teachers, right? We're all just walking each other home, supporting one another. I love it. Alan says, I do about a minute of gratitude at 5 a.m., 12 noon. I'm sure that's what you meant. 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. Gratitude carries more power than all other emotions. Oh, I like that. That is beautiful. Oh, you've all given me things to add to what I do. The other thing that I do is I love bath rituals. So I will create a bath ritual and I guess I should share some of them because I do all these amazing bath or shower rituals if I don't have time to take a bath. But the water really, really helps me. It puts that, if any of you have fire sign in you, it puts that fire energy, that intensive, impulsive energy out a little bit. It calms it. So beautiful. Oh, thank you all so much for contributing all the techniques that you use, because I think it's really, really important that we share. Oh, Laura Lynn shares, when a memory gets triggered and I feel resentment about the past, I start down that rabbit hole. I think to myself, is this how I want to spend the next hour? Love that. Arguing about something that happened 10 years ago that never got resolved back then, or do I want to do something else? That's fantastic. That is excellent. All of you have such amazing input. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for reminding us of this. Oh, Vivian, my pleasure. And Laura Lynn, everybody that you contributed, thank you so much. I really appreciate it because I love so many of these. Oh, here's another one. Okay, got to read it. Oh, so many of you. All right, here we go. Oh, Monica. Yes. Here we go. Monica, you all know that Thich Nhat Hanh just recently transitioned into spirit. He dropped his body. So Monica has reminded us the 9 prayers in honor of Thich Nhat Hanh. Let it reside in one's soul. May I be peaceful, happy, and light in body and spirit. May I be free from injury. May I live in safety. May I be free from disturbance, fear, and anxiety. May I learn to look at myself with the eyes of understanding and of love. Hold on. I'm wondering if I can show this on the screen. There it is. It's on the screen. May I live in safety. May I be free from disturbance, fear, and anxiety. May I learn to look at myself with the eyes of understanding and of love. May I be able to recognize and touch the seeds of joy and happiness in myself. May I learn to identify and see the sources of anger, craving, and delusion in myself. May I know how to. Oh, Monica, it got cut off. I'm sure there's more to this. This is exquisite. That is beautiful. Thank you. All right. And Melinda says, if it's a worrisome situation that seems overwhelming, I will literally put my hands up and say, as you wish 3 times, and give it up to the universe. God, Archangel Michael, saying, thank you for taking care of this 3 times, then let it go. Basically giving it up to a higher source. I think I need a sip of water. Oh, that's excellent. Then she goes and uses her oils, have a glass of wine, or watch a rom-com. Isn't that the best? Isn't that just the best to snap you out of it? Go watch or read something uplifting. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much. The Serenity Prayer. Exactly. Of course, the Serenity Prayer. I love the Serenity Prayer. So breath work is also one of the best calming methods. This is what Barney is sharing. One of the easiest to learn is to breathe following the natural energy flow of the chakras. Oh, that's excellent, Barney. Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for all of your input. I love this. This has been a collaborative conversation today, and that's the best kind. And what I'm looking forward to is creating a way that we can all do this actually, well, of course, face to face, but in the meantime, somehow being able to do this in an online platform where we are all seen and heard and acknowledged. So we will be working on that. All right. Oh, I love you right back, Vivian. Thank you. Thank you so much for being present here today. I so appreciate it, and all of your input. I'm going to cut and paste all of your suggestions because I just love them. Add them to the toolbox, guys. All right, that's it for today. Mwah. I am sending you all so much enormous love and peace and gratitude for being present here. And just have a beautiful weekend, everybody. All right, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Sharon's here. Mwah.